There would be a mess to clean up when the storm passed on through, for sure.
If we survive this hurricane, I might give you my share of the B&B and move to Colorado with Aunt Charlotte. I thought tornadoes were the evilest thing on earth until now,
Ellie Mae yelled over the noise of the rushing wind.
We need to figure out a way to put that last piece of wood up from the inside of the window. Then we won't need to climb down this rickety old ladder.
From the sound of her cousin's voice, Tabby could tell she wasn't far from the bottom now.
If that had been possible, Aunt Charlotte would have already figured it out. At least we only have to go down this thing one time.
Lightning streaked across the sky in a long, ragged line, and a clap of rolling thunder followed. Tabby fought the urge to let go and cover her ears. She forced herself to keep a tight grip on the sides of the ladder and hoped she wouldn't end up with dozens of splinters in her palms. She glanced over her shoulder to see more lightning flash behind Ellie Mae, turning her into a momentary silhouette.
Just 4 more steps and you're on the ground, Ellie Mae said. You could jump from there. Not. She let go with one hand and instinctively covered one ear when the thunder rolled so close that the noise rattled the ladder. Going to. She quickly got a grip on the edge of the ladder again. Happen! She yelled above all the mixed sounds of the weather, the angry surf, and the creaking tree limbs. Hurry up, woman! I can feel the rain and see sheets of it coming right at us, Ellie Mae said. Those waves are taller than me. That's not very tall. Tabby glanced down at the ground and then at the surf not 100 yards away from the B&B. But then, that's a good sign. How can you be so positive about everything? Ellie Mae asked. I've wallowed in a negative world too long. When I moved down here, I decided I was leaving all the bad behind and just dwelling on the good, Tabby answered above the rush of blood pounding in her ears. Let's be thankful for everything, including a drill that didn't run out of power and even this rotten old ladder. The little things, huh? Ellie Mae asked. She'd barely gotten the last word out when the next rung on the ladder snapped in half. 1 second, Tabby was only a couple of steps from solid ground. The next, she was grabbing for anything to break her fall. With her hands outstretched and catching nothing but fistfuls of air, she landed on Ellie Mae and sent both of them to the ground. Everything seemed to happen in slow motion, and then poof, just like that, she was struggling to catch her breath, lying flat on her back, staring up at a mass of black clouds. A mop of her own hair was in her face and mouth, trying to choke her to death as she struggled to fill her lungs with air. When she opened her eyes, Ellie Mae was pushing her off, sputtering and trying to catch her breath all at the same time. Not, Ellie Mae rolled over and sat up. Graceful. She inhaled deeply. Tabby was staring up at the angry black clouds with lightning bolts shooting out of them and thunder rolling close behind. Is that what drums sound like in heaven? She asked between gasps for air. Not funny, Ellie Mae gasped. You knocked the wind out of me. It's either laugh or cry. Are you hurt? Did I break any bones when I fell on you? Tabby sat up and checked her arms and fingers. Everything seemed to be working just fine. Ellie Mae shook her head. Only if pride is a bone. How about you? Nothing broken, but I'd hate to have to take all those boards off the windows by myself when Delilah passes over. Thank God you're not dead. Tabby stood up and took a couple of steps to be sure she hadn't sprained an ankle. I might have a few bruises, but, girl, you're the only woman I know who can burn ramen noodles in the microwave. If I'd died, it'd be my fault that you starved to death. Ellie Mae got to her feet. I'm glad you're not dead, too. I can only live on ramen noodles so long before they start to gag me. Tabby tipped the ladder over and brought it to the ground. According to Aunt Charlotte, clumsiness is the Landry curse. But then we also got strong bones from the Landry DNA. We'll have to buy a new ladder to remove the window coverings when this is over. I'm not going to trust a single one of those rungs on this old thing ever again. Tough or not, you better get your skinny butt in the house or else put some rocks in your pockets. Ellie Mae picked up the tote bag she had tossed on the ground and got a firm grasp on the other end of the ladder. Tabby June Landry, you are not in Texas anymore. Tabby bent against the wind and headed around the east end of the house. You are not in Texas anymore, Dorothy. Same story, different name.